Sorry, beautiful Halo, for you to be attached to something like this, but yeah. Anyway, hello everyone. Kitti Minx here. Sorry if you can hear my obnoxious ceiling fan. I tried recording with the ceiling fan off, but because my AC is off, and I live in a hot climate, and my office is in a weird spot in my house where it traps a lot of heat, it just got way too hot for me to continue to sit here and try to record things with the ceiling fan off. So I get at least a little bit of relief from the heat. Anyway, so sorry about that. Hope at least it provides a nice little relaxing ambient noise for you. So yeah, about a week or two ago, I can't remember the exact amount of time, I posted a couple of cryptic posts on my YouTube community tab that were pretty sad looking, and I said I'd let you all know in a video what I meant by them, and well, a promise is a promise. So basically what my concern was is that, to those of you who don't know, my spouse D-Knight is enlisted in the military. However, he is not active duty, he's a reservist. However, he still has to report periodically to do his job on base, and he, gets paid for his work, and we get full military benefits and all that. But as a reservist, it still means that if there's a severe emergency or we go into a major war, he could be called into active duty at pretty much any time. So while a reservist means he'd be less likely to get deployed than an active duty service member, there is still always that slim possibility that it could still happen. So basically at the time when I made those posts, I was waiting on news of basically a possible deployment. And I got the news back, and while the deployment isn't happening, like he's not leaving tomorrow or anything, it's not a surefire thing, he and several other people in his group were put on a standby list, and he's the only one on the standby list with his rank, and I do believe he has the highest rank on that standby list. So chances are, if they do need anyone in the reserves on the standby list, they probably would call him up. And basically the list lasts until the end of September before it goes away and they don't need people anymore by any chance. So basically there's a possibility between when he got put on that standby list a week or two ago and the end of September, he could be called in to be sent away. And he'd be gone a good 8 months or so. And unfortunately, me and the kids would not be able to go with him because of the situation he is being sent away for. Fortunately, he's being sent domestically in response to an emergency situation if he does get sent away. But even still, he got told that the whole family would not be relocated. He would be going by himself, and myself and the kids would stay home. So that was the big thing I was worried about. And it's something I still am worried about, because even though it's not a surefire thing, even though it's not set in stone, the fact he is on standby and it is an emergency situation, if they do need somebody from his base, chances are it could be him. And then I'd be without my husband for at least 8 months. Yes, we would have access over the phone and email and FaceTime and things like that when he has time, because to those who don't know, the military keeps you very, very busy and very active and very exhausted. But that would leave my kids without seeing their dad on the regular. That would mean him missing 8 months or so of the new baby's life. Missing things like possibly first time crawling, first time walking, first words even, possibly. And that's a pretty big deal. It may not be for other dads out there, but I know for him it's pretty important. He's a good dad, and he genuinely loves and adores his children very, very much. So it does break his heart to even think about the idea that he could be away from them for so long, let alone being away from his wife, which is obviously me. So that is something that has been weighing heavily on my mind, and something that probably will weigh heavily on my mind until the end of September, where hopefully it will go away. And I know he's conflicted on the matter. I know part of him wants to go because it'd be really, really good for his career. He'd be on active order duties, which means he'd get better pay, better money to send home to help the family. We'd be able to save up better. He'd have a better shot at going up another rank, among other things. So yeah, if he did get sent away for it, it'd be really good for his career and it'd be good money. But the other side of that is he'd be far away from his family for almost a year. And I know even if it happened, I should count my blessings. There are plenty of people who are deployed for a year or longer and are deployed really far away where they don't get regular access to their phones or to email or FaceTime or Skype or anything. So yeah, I should count my blessings, and I do. I really do. I know it could be, quote unquote, worse. But at the same time, it's not something I want. I know I signed up for it by marrying a U.S. service member. But I didn't think it was something that could happen, so soon after our marriage, and possibly so soon after having a baby, So that is something that kind of has been gnawing at me, and gnawing at me quite a bit. It doesn't keep me up at night exactly, but it does cross my mind every so often. I don't know. Please offer me your reassurances in the comments down below, because if it does happen, I really, really, really could use y'all's love and support even more than you already give it to me now. Because if that happens, aside from my family, I'd be alone, with no one to really talk to regularly, like I do with him. So yeah, that's something that's been really eating at me as of late. And in general, to those of you who don't know, if you don't listen to my other story times and blogs and stuff, I deal with bipolar 2 disorder, which means I flip-flop from manic states and depressive states. And even though I am fully medicated and in treatment and getting therapy, I still am prone to depression. Though albeit usually while I'm medicated fully, the depression, it tends to be brought on by an outside trigger, but it still can happen at any time. And yeah, being told your husband could be sent away for almost a year is definitely a bit of a trigger, among other things going on in my life, such as being kind of sleep deprived between having a new baby who doesn't quite sleep through the night yet, having an older kid who has sleep issues all their own, to the point where one morning we found them awake in the living room watching TV at 5 in the morning before dawn, wide awake watching TV. That's not healthy for a child their age, not in the slightest. So dealing with that, dealing with my pressures to get content out for you all now that I'm back, pressures to get exclusives out for my patrons, and now also for my OnlyFans. I do feel like sometimes I bit off more than I can chew now that I'm back, that I should have allowed myself more time to be away. But I did feel when I announced my return that the time had come for me to come back. And I'm sorry, you can probably hear my bird. It is 7:30 in the morning and people around the house are waking up to get ready to work from home. And my obnoxious pet parrot just loves to squawk when it knows people are awake and about. Especially in the morning. Drives me bananas. So yeah, this is just the noisy background audio, isn't it? I'm sorry, y'all. Oh well, there's really nothing I can do about it, as that kind of thing is kind of hard to edit out. Hope you appreciate Burb Chan in the background if you can hear it. I know you definitely all are appreciating Ceiling Fan Chan in the background if you can hear it over the ambience I have layered underneath this. Oi. So yeah, on top of D-Night having the possibility of going away for a while, I'm dealing with my own stress between the kids and the rest of my family, worrying about them with the current global situation going on in the world. My own health, given that 2 weeks after I had my baby, I was diagnosed with a pulmonary embolism, which is a blood clot in the lung, and I'm still on blood thinners to treat that, and I will be on blood thinners for at least another month, basically until the blood doctor says I don't need it anymore. Dealing with that, dealing with overall psych stuff, and now the pressures of being back to YouTube, back to Patreon, and now on OnlyFans to produce regular content so people continue to stick around and believe in me and support me. Though I do genuinely thank everyone who has stuck around during my 9+ month hiatus when I did, suddenly disappear without much word to people. And I am sorry about that. I really am. But I just couldn't bring myself to say anything at the time because a lot was so up in the air. My health was not the best when I first found out I was pregnant, so I didn't want to get anyone's hopes up or anything just yet. And then time passed and I assumed people either hated me or forgot about me or both. So I just didn't say anything until I decided it was time to pull myself back together and get back to it. I promise I'll do my best to be back to it. But please be patient. Please be forgiving. Please be understanding. As now my life has changed. It's changed in some ways for the better, but there is a possibility it could take a turn slightly for the worse. And I gotta be prepared for that. So while things are chaotic in my life and up in the air, I can't promise any regular content schedule, whether for YouTube or for Patreon or for OnlyFans. I can only promise that I can do my best and try my hardest to get stuff out at least once a week, if I'm lucky. So yeah, I genuinely appreciate your love and support, as well as your patience and understanding. You all mean the world to me. You all are amazing. And if you're new here, please check out my old content. I got hundreds of role plays, some of them very tingly, for you to enjoy and listen to. And if you want to learn more about me, go through my library of audio blogs/vlogs. Good way to learn more about me as a person if that interests you. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I'll hopefully be back soon with another roleplay, albeit it may be on my old mic and not on the new one, because I'm still a bit nervous about that new mic. Still want to tinker with it a bit before I commit to role-playing with it. So definitely check out the community tab where I have a post where I'd like y'all's comments about me as a person and my channel, and I will read them in ASMR on the new mic to further test it. So yes, thank you all so much. Love you all and stay awesome. Mwah, 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 mwah. Bye bye. Thank you so much for watching and listening. This piece was brought to you by my patrons on Patreon, as well as generous donations from viewers like you. If you enjoyed what you listened to, be sure to click that like button. And if you're new here and want to see more content, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you can